Oh my goodness. What's good, everybody? This is Ryan Johnson with MoneyBass.com. Oh my goodness, guys, we have to sound the alarm. Have you seen what is going on out here in these YouTube streets? Shout out to Ben Milliken, guys. If you have seen the title of tonight's live stream and you have seen that thumbnail, some of you may be wondering, but most of you probably are not. What is going on out here? We're going to get straight into that, guys. As you come into the chat, please drop a 1. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight, coming over to the Money Bass side of things, just to hear a maybe different perspective of what you see and hear is going on out here in YouTube. I mean, I'm looking on here and I see there's already 2 other lives, 3 other lives. There's videos popping up here and there. I really appreciate everybody for hitting that 1. I can see you coming into the chat. And also, let me give a big shout out to the Facebook crew. Let me make sure you guys over here on the Facebook side of things are up and running, so that way you can join in on the festivities, on, get in on a little bit of the conversation that we have going on tonight. So there we go. So shout out to the Facebook crew. You guys can go ahead and hop in. You are live and in action. All right. So like I said, we're going to hop straight into it, guys. Let me just share my screen and show you. I know some of you have already, heard the information that is out, what you have heard of the information that is out. So I started receiving messages. As you know, the Money Team, we're strong. I mean, we're out here doing things on a daily basis out here in these YouTube streets, guys. I'm out here on the lake a few times a week, and you see that I've kind of changed the format of the channel. I'm kind of more into the fishing side of things. But let me just give you a quick rundown of what we are going to do. I have a video clip of Ben Milliken, so I'm going to get into that in just a second. I also have some information that I kind of pulled from online that one of my subscribers sent to me. And guys, let me just go ahead and pull this up real quick and share the screen so you guys can see exactly what we are talking about right here. All right, so here we go. Just bear with me, guys. This is a live show. As you come into the chat, make sure you introduce yourselves and also hit that like button. It really, really makes a difference as far as the support for the channel, guys. All right, so this is what we're talking about right here. So there was a article that was released a little earlier in regards to Ben Milliken and the issue that is taking place. Now, what I want to say right off the bat is that if you've been following this channel any length of time, you know that over here, we're kind of friends with Ben Milliken. Ben Milliken is a friend of the channel, guys. So we've had him on here before, had a great time with him. So we may be approaching this from a different perspective than what you may be seeing a lot of other channels approaching the topic. So like I said, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, but let's just take a look at this. And this article can be found right on the Daily Sentinel. It is very, very short, very brief. But whenever I was first sent this information, guys, first sent this link by one of my subscribers, there was a full article. And I mean, I was able to read through that entire article before they changed it. But I just wanted you to take a look at this. The article starts here. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but it ends here. That is the full article. So we'll just read that real quick, and then I will show you something else that I was able to find out, guys. And this is a snippet that I was able to take, a screenshot before the article completely changed, because this article that you see is very, very minimalized. They have cut out a lot of that article. So they had information in here that was stating the issue with the license, the sharelunker program, and, a little more details. And there was also a statement by Ben Milliken that was in here. And that statement was kind of brief also. But like I said, I will show you guys that. Let me just go ahead and get that queued up too, so I can read that to you. Shout out to Bryce Stevens. We have Bryce Stevens tuning in. Bryce Stevens just became a YouTube member. So, well, we'll talk about the membership in just a minute, because I do want to just get straight to the meat of tonight's program. And the other thing, there is a poll that is active. You guys know that on this channel, I like to make sure we stay live and interactive in the chat. And also, with the polls, I will drop polls throughout the live stream. We are not going to be on long. Just wanted to touch bases and kind of get a feel for what you guys are thinking out there in the in YouTube land. So the poll that we have, and this is just to gauge the room. So make sure everybody here participates in this poll. Are you a Ben Milliken fan? And I see some of you have already started getting active on that poll. And that poll right now, we have 68% of you are saying yes, you are Ben Milliken fans. 32% of you are saying no. And I'm pretty sure that either way, you will put your your reasons in the comments. All right. So what I was going to read to you, let's just read this article real quick, and then I will pull up another little snippet of something that I think you guys may find a little interesting. All right, so here we go. Where are we at with that article? All right, so here we go, guys. Pro fisherman, popular YouTuber Ben Milliken charged with fishing tournament fraud. Okay, so I can tell you, and again, guys, all of this stuff is new and just coming out. Let me just read the article real quick, and then I'll just finish what I was about to say. But want to give a big shout out to the new member of the chat. Let me just bring that down. Shout out to Bryce Stevens. All right, so Benjamin Milliken, put his full government name on there. A Bassmaster elite fisherman with a large YouTube following is accused of cheating in a state's sharelunker bass program. Was arrested Thursday in, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that, Nocodocious. Am I saying that, guys, right? You can let me know in the chat. How's my pronunciation? All right, county, and charged with freshwater fishing tournament fraud. Now, the sharelunker program, maybe they're calling that a tournament because it's like an ongoing program. Maybe that's why they're calling that a tournament. But one of the things that Ben Milliken did mention in this article, and again, guys, allegedly, because we do not have all of the facts that are out there yet. And you really don't want to put something on someone that they do not put something on them that they do not deserve. So there would definitely be more to come, but he did make mention that he will be coming out, with his own statement on it. And again, he mentioned in here that it was not a tournament that this issue occurred in, but it did have something to do with the licensing and the paperwork that was submitted for that sharelunker program. All right, so with that being said, let me go ahead and drop this down. Now, we did have Milliken on the channel. If you were a member or if you watched the live interview with Milliken, put yes in the chat. Just want to get a little feedback. Remember, guys, I said this is a live and interactive show. We're going to be here just for a quick few minutes to go over a few things. And like I said, I'll pull that clip up in just a second, but I want to get some feedback from you guys first. All right, so Mark Main says, no, he did not see it. Okay. All right, let's see who else is in here. All right, Pale Rider. What does Pale Rider say? He caught a sharelunker and didn't have a current license. Then he bought a license and turned the fish in, according to Josh Jones. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So remember, guys, this is still kind of speculation. They're still in the research. He said, she said, and, all the investigation stuff is going on. But we'll see. We'll see. So in the court of public opinion, I guess we can do that in just a second. We'll see what you guys think in the court of public opinion. I'll put that up here in just a second. So right now, are you a Ben Milliken fan? We have 67% of the people that are viewing right now. And remember, this is just to gauge the room because like I said, we've had Milliken on here. I've done several videos on him and we were following his, transition to the elites. Well, actually to the tournament scene from YouTube from the beginning. So that may be a reason why. But are you a Ben Milliken fan? 67% of you are saying yes, then 32% of you are saying no. All right, so the other thing that we would do, let's go ahead and drop that poll down. And remember, guys, participate in these polls because the polls are what make the live streams very interesting along with the chat. All right, so this next poll that we're going to do, so in the court of public opinion, and remember, you guys have limited information, but we'll go ahead and just put this in here just for a little bit of fun, let's say, just to see what you guys are thinking. But in the court of public opinion, is he guilty? All right, let's see. And what he was charged with, guys, and I won't pull this other article up because it looks like it actually has, well, this other information that I was able to find because it has some personal information in here, but it says he was booked for a class A and B misdemeanor. So we'll just stick straight with that. We'll just put that right into the poll. So just bear with me, guys. All right. So in the court of public opinion, is he guilty of A, Class A and B misdemeanor. And we'll keep that simple. So basically, the question is asking, in your opinion, from what the limited information that you have heard, which we shouldn't be doing, is judging ahead of time without having all of the facts, but just to get an idea of the mood or the sentiment that is out there with people. All right, so the poll is up and running, guys. In the court of public opinion, is he guilty of a Class A and B misdemeanor? All right, so that poll is live and in action. So make sure you participate in that. Oh, man, it seems like there's always something going on, guys. All right, now hop into the chat in just a second. But what I want to do now is I will play that video clip that I was speaking of earlier. And it was a interesting conversation that we had. And you just see the enthusiasm, what he has for fishing in general and how he kind of feels about it. So just kind of take a look at this. Let me just drop this down real quick. Remember, I said this is a live show, guys. Share. All right, here we go. All right, so this is a conversation that your partner MoneyBass had with Ben Milliken. And we went over some interesting information. All right, so here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and bring this up and just listen in a little bit. And I'm playing this just so you guys can kind of see if you kind of get the same feel for Ben Milliken that I do when it comes to fishing and the fishing industry and the business side of it itself, along with, it's a personal thing because, I mean, this is his livelihood. All right, so let's just listen in and see what you guys think about our conversation. Let's go ahead and talk about it. And so on the video you made right after that one, I remember you were talking about the fishing industry and how you didn't really see how you can make money. I think you were saying on the tournament side of things, but you were kind of building your path on the YouTube side of things. And when I went back and watched that video again a few days ago, and I was like, I wonder what he was thinking if you kind of had that plan of starting off on the YouTube side of things and kind of building that up, getting that following together, and then kind of branching off into the tournament side. Did you think of it that way, or were you more just, with the YouTube thing, you saw a path to where you can follow your passion and make a living at it and just kind of build from there?
I got some goosebumps, man, on my arm here. You freaking talking about that. That's like you did your research. I appreciate that a lot, man. Those are some videos that I need to kind of, I go back and watch. I like to go back and watch some of the older videos to kind of just get some perspective and just gain some gratitude on where we're at now, because it's crazy to see how far we've come. Just a dude, a young married dude in Nebraska, trying to figure out life with this 8-to-5 job with my college degree, and freaking a terrible, just to be completely transparent, just a really shitty place in the country to live if you want to pursue a job in the fishing industry or a full-time tournament fishing job. And so, yeah, so it's kind of funny to think like 5-6 years ago, I was having the same thoughts that people are still confused about these days, about how you can't just go fish tournaments and rely on getting checks in tournaments to make a living.
And see, you're saying I did my research. I saw that video whenever you first put it out, but I just recently, because when I thought about it, I was like, man, let me go back and watch, that because you mentioned it on another podcast. But when you mentioned kind of that outline of how to make it in the fishing industry, you said that back then before you even started on that path. When you were getting started, I think you had like 150,000 subscribers or something like that around that time frame. And you mentioned the same thing that is being said right now. So you were saying it way back then.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. You gotta be confused about some things if you think that you can just go out and fish and live off the checks from fishing. Maybe it's bad advice. Maybe it's just, I don't even know, but
marketing.
It is marketing, man. Yeah. I mean, you have to be able to catch fish. If you're just talking about the tournament side of things, like if you're fishing at the highest level, you have to be able to catch fish phenomenally, but you also, like, it's 50-50. You have to be able to do the fish catching, but you also have to understand the marketing side of it.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I straight up, I try to preach to everyone that everyone's path is different. Everyone's route to where they want to be is different. And so I don't ever think there's a linear way to get from I'm Joe 8 to 5 worker or whatever you do with your life, and I want to fish professionally 100% for a living. Right. There's not like oh, well, then you need to fish locally and fish tournaments. You need to qualify for a regional tournament, then you qualify for a national tournament, then you qualify for the Elite Series, and then you're a professional fisherman. Like that's not the way it works anymore, really, ever. And so I kind of took my own route, which was, I'm not going to say the right or wrong route for anyone. It's like it's a different route than anyone's really ever taken, which is kind of interesting and unique and cool. But yeah, man, I from the start, it was a long way up. And honestly, I didn't even have aspirations of fishing the opens until a couple months before registration last year. And I was like, well, I've wanted to do this forever. I'm kind of burned out on what I'm doing right now. This seems like the right time. I don't want to go another year without hopping in. Right. Let's freaking do it.
Right.
Here we are.
That decision that you made, so what I did this is the first year I really fished the BFLs. All right, so there we go, guys. There we go. Shout out to Ben Milliken. So yeah, we had him back on the show. We had a great conversation. If you want to see that full interview, just search MoneyBass Ben Milliken on YouTube, and you should be able to find it pretty easy. But yeah, I just wanted to play that just so you guys can kind of see how our conversation was going as far as his feel for the industry, the feel for fishing in general. And I don't know, maybe it may come into play about what you guys are thinking as far as that poll that we have in the court of public opinion. And of course, hopefully everybody knows that before you pass judgment on certain things, on most things, you should wait until you get the majority of the information and evidence that's out there. So right now, this is something that is very, very fresh. Nobody really has the information except for maybe Ben Milliken and those people that were directly involved in it. And so that is part of this investigation process that's going on. But the question that we currently have in here is, in the court of public opinion, is he guilty of a Class A and B misdemeanor? And it is almost split. And remember, the court of public opinion is being made off of very, very limited information. So we have 48% of you are saying yes, he is guilty in the court of public opinion, and 53% of you are saying no, he is not. And so remember, over here on this channel, we are, I would say he is a friend of the channel, guys. So that could have a little, to do with the, with that 53%. So it's kind of leaning over to one side. But hey, again, we do not have all of the facts. We really have very few of the facts. But I'll go ahead and hop into the chat now. Like I was saying, guys, this is really just being put together because a lot of you have been sending me messages. I mean, my phone was ding, ding, ding. I was getting all kinds of messages with people wanting me to respond because they know that, I've had him on the show and everything. So that is what this show is for. It's for you guys, the viewers, so you can hop in here in the comments and just kind of share your thoughts and everything like that. And if you have a poll question that you want me to put up on the screen, just go ahead and put that in the chat. Just put poll question or put poll. And then if it's a good one, if I see some other people agreeing that they want that to be added as a poll question, then I will put that in there. And for anybody that is just tuning in, there is a poll question right now. You can see that poll in the chat. And all this is just to gauge the room for the people that are in here. So, we're up around 70 or so right now. So the question that we have for those who have not participated is, in the court of public opinion, is he guilty, basically? And what he was charged with is a Class A and B misdemeanor. And what I am looking at is the actual booking summary report. So, and like I said, I won't pull this up because it has some other information on here, but let's see. So yeah, off the offense description is fraud freshwater fish tournament, and I think that sharelunker program might be considered a tournament. That's why it specifically says tournament on here. But for most of us tournament fishermen, we don't really look at that as necessarily a tournament. It's more like a program, is what I would say most people may look at that as. All right, so I'm going to hop into the chat right now. I'm just going straight to the bottom real quick. just to see if anybody had a poll question or anything that you wanted me to put in the chat for you to be able to kind of gauge the room with. So I'm going to go through these pretty quick. If I'm kind of falling behind in the chat, what I generally do is I'll take the members of the money team. Those are the members of the channel, guys. Those generally take precedence. So I'll kind of read those first if I start getting behind in the chat. But let's see. Fishing for Dollars. Shout out to the money team. Fishing for Dollars coming straight in. He was here early. He says, only thing I know about Ben is he is rough on his equipment. I know this because I still putting his Camus from last year back together. It's cleaning up nice. Okay, yeah, I remember you had a kind of a project you were working on. All right, let's see. So I'm just going through the chat for anybody that is just tuning in. So if there's anything specific that you want as a poll question, make sure you put that in the chat so I can put that in there. And I'm just kind of going to go through these real quick. And if nobody has anything else they'd like to say, I mean, generally I would drop the call in link. So don't really know if there's a need for that right now because everything is still in the preliminary stages as far as finding out what's going on. But if you want to come up, just put call in the chat and I can drop that call in link for you. All right, so let's see. All right, shout out to Chef Boy. Chef Boy was out. I was out live on the lake earlier today. So he said I was speeding home trying to get this live stream started. All right, Fishing for Dollars says, yeah, I've been watching the info, waiting on you to start. That is what I figured because I have been receiving messages from a lot of people from my subscribers, the members of my channel, wanting me to kind of weigh in on this because I had some information about it. All right. Justin White says, I think there needs to be a third choice that is sometimes. All right. So not everybody doesn't, everybody isn't for everybody. All right. Let's see. Justin White says, let's go money team. Shout out to the members of the channel. All right. Then DL Peck Fishing, he says, was Ben arrested? So from what I'm looking at, they do have a booking report. So apparently he was arrested, booked, but then released fairly quickly from what I'm understanding. And remember, guys, the word allegedly is something that is throughout this live stream because like I said, this is very new information. But I am looking at this report. I won't pull the report up because of the report that I found. It has some personal information on here. All right, let's see. So who else do we have? All right, so Pearl Ryder says he caught a sharelunker and didn't have a current license. Then he bought a new license and turned the fish in, according to Josh Jones. So there we go. So somebody said that somebody said that somebody said, you know what I mean? But right now, like I said, it's still very, very early on. So there's going to be a lot of different things. Some things may kind of mesh together and kind of fit, but yeah, we definitely don't know the facts yet. But I'll go through here and see what you guys feel allegedly may have occurred. The Burning Season says, how do you get charged with a tourney fraud for no license? Plenty of pros have been found with no license and never been charged. So yeah, so with this, because they're calling it a tournament and there are funds involved, and I did see someone mention that in the chat, so we're going to get down to that in just a second too. All right, so Bryce Stevens says, is it cheating? Let me see. Is it cheating having an issue with your license? I've been in tournaments with guys mistakenly forgetting their license expired. It's no big deal. Right. So I can understand your sentiment on that, but depending on how serious that an organization wants to take something like that, if it is illegal or against the rules, it's still kind of one of those shaky things. And actually, that was a topic that we had covered before, where people have different levels to not necessarily cheating, but it's cheating versus rules violations, that kind of thing. So yeah, so that may be along with that investigation part, because with this, depending on whether it's something that's intentional or not, there's a lot that may go into it. But again, it's allegedly, and things are still being investigated. All right, the Burning Season says, should Bass blacklist him if found guilty of tourney fraud? And remember, would you guys, let's see, should I put this into a poll question? But who is familiar with the sharelunker program in the chat? If you are familiar with that, put sharelunker in the chat. And then I have a specific question that I want to ask you guys, the people that say they are familiar with it. So until then, I'm going to keep zooming through these chat messages real quick. Justin White says they're saying it's fraud due to the fact that there was prize money involved. All right. And Chris Hoffman says, Money, I like your unbiased reporting. You didn't jump to conclusions like the, what is that, MSM has been doing for the past several years. Oh, mainstream media. Am I media? All right, let's see. Shout out to Chris. Really appreciate you. All right, let's see. This is Frisk. Am I saying that right? Sharelunker is a Texas Parks and Wildlife program. Okay, so you're calling it a program, but they're referring to it as a tournament. And I wonder if that would make a difference if something is a tournament versus a program. All right, Justin White says just another reason for the government not to pay to put on a tournament purse. All right, let's see. All right, so the burning season. What's going on? The burning season always has some interesting comments. He says, according to Josh Jones, what he did is cheating. If he knew he didn't have a license, went and bought one to look legal and enter the fish. So that is allegedly. All right, let's see. Chef Boy, let me see. We live. All right. All right, you guys are definitely getting active in the chat. I'm just going through here real quick just to see if I need to speed up through these messages. So, and the other thing, like I told you, we are not going to be on long. Just wanted to get out here and get a pulse from my subscribers and my viewers of my channel, because you guys wanted to hear from me and just see how I would put this information out there. And you kind of get the idea. I mean, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you kind of know how I like to approach things, just kind of from a different point of view than what may just be at taking at face value. All right, so that's kind of what I'm going through here, and I'm trying to find some of those conversations. All right, guys, let's see. Where was I at? All right, I already got you. All right, so Brad said he has been a huge contributor to the SAL program. Let's see, for several years. Obviously, he makes, well, I guess made an honest mistake. Let me see. SAL leaves little prizes wouldn't be anything to him. All right. And I can understand what you're saying, but I'm pretty sure there's somebody in here that's going to see that a different way. The burning season says, if you caught a fish with no license and went and bought a license after you caught the fish and tried to enter the fish, that's 100% fraud. Gotcha. All right. And so remember, that's not what we are saying that he did, because at this point, we do not know. But this is just to kind of, people are going to have the conversation. So we're just going to go ahead and have the conversation and kind of put it out there. This could be beneficial if Ben Milliken is watching this. This could be kind of beneficial to see what some people are thinking, the thoughts that people have out there, and the sentiment around it. So hopefully this is bringing value to somebody that's watching it, just to get the sentiment, because the court of public opinion, sometimes it does matter. It does matter. All right, let's see. Greg says he can't fish without forward-facing sonar, but don't believe he's cheating. Oh my goodness, Greg. All right, so who really believes that he can't fish without forward-facing sonar? And the reason why I'm asking that is because once he's started fishing, I would say more on the the opens and the pro side of things, that is something that people would start to say. But any of us that have been following him from any length of time know that that is not, it's not really the case. It's not really the case, but it's still funny whenever people say that. All right, Frisco says the license shows the date and time it was bought. So if he bought the license after he signed and caught the fish, licenses are not retroactive. Yeah, I did see someone say that someone tried to buy a retroactive license. I've never heard of that. So I don't know if that is a thing or not, but I've never heard of that. Has anybody else ever heard of a retroactive license? All right, Pale Rider says if you turn in a sharelunker, you are registered for a 5K spending spree. And if it's over 13 pounds, you are registered for an additional 5K spending spree. Man, we need some type of program out here on this side of, on this side, on the East Coast. I guess it won't involve 13 pounders and stuff like that, but hey, we can reduce the weight a little bit. All right, for a total of 10K. All right, Brad says he won on Toledo without forward-facing sonar for the most part. But hey, I mean, that's a whole different animal. Everybody's out there having to use that if they're competing, pretty much, right? All right, let's see. The burning season says, yeah, and that's why he got charged with fraud. Okay, so I guess you're just stating that based on what the pale rider mentioned earlier. All right, and Frisco. I guess Frisco must be one of the no's. All right, that is not necessarily a fan. All right, let's see. Who is this? E-Beginator. Haven't seen that name before. All right, he said, yeah, he did it. Yeah, he did it. But hey, I mean, like I said, guys, all of this is allegedly, and we are talking about in the court of public opinion. It could come out that there were some things that were mixed up in the city. You just never know. So right now, what we are talking about is the court of public opinion, how people are going to view the situation. And of course, people have people that are generally for them and against them. But as you can see, there are people that are saying they're not necessarily fans, but they're willing to wait and see when more information comes out before they kind of jump to conclusions on things. All right, the burn season says Randy is sleeping good tonight. Shout out to Randy. Randy's a friend of the channel too. He was on here before. All right, Brad C says like 10K would mean anything to him. Dude will make that this week. And so I would one of the things that I have learned as far as tournaments go, it is not necessarily about the money for somebody that is really intentionally doing things that they should not do. I mean, I've seen people do stuff for just a trophy that in the end looks like something that a kid would get, and they'll do things that they shouldn't do just for a trophy. All right, so Bryce Stevens says this is a direct response with him being on that angler committee. All right, man, the hate in this world is real. This is not the same as Trey cutting down trees. All right, so yeah, so I don't really know too much about the angler committee controversy and that kind of thing that's going on. I'm just kind of I'm looking at the topic at face value for the information that we have, and then again, this is allegedly, guys, because we do not have the facts out yet. This has just happened. So we're just kind of talking about the court of public opinion. And like I said, this may bring value in some type of way for somebody that wants to see how are things like this perceived to the viewers and the people that are interested in things that take place in the fishing industry. All right. All right. So let's see. I see some things down here that happen. What did I miss? Want to give a big shout out to Daniel. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Daniel hit the channel with a $5 super chat. Let me get in here and do a little work. And I always put credit where credit is due. So on this channel, guys, what I say is each week, whoever gives the largest super chat or super sticker is the sponsor of that live stream. So you guys know we have been out on the water a few times this week. We do this thing called Bass for Cash, and Daniel is always getting active on that. So let me just, if you take a look at that banner that's scrolling across the bottom, it says special thank you so much to the sponsor of the stream, Daniel. Daniel has hit me with the $5 super chat. And guess what Daniel did? He came back to back with him. He came back to back with another one, another $5 super chat. So that puts Daniel in the top spot with the $10 on the board. Really appreciate that, Daniel. So we'll be back out on the lake again on Monday. So maybe that Bass for Cash pot will start back over, and see if maybe you could get a little money in your pocket. All right, really appreciate you, Daniel. All right, everybody put Daniel in the chat. Daniel hit the channel up with $10 super chat. Really, really appreciate that, sir. All right, so like I said, right now we're just going through the chat. If anybody wants to call in, because generally I do drop that call-in link to see if anybody wants to come up and say anything. But again, like I was mentioning, we are still in the very early stages of finding out information. So it may be bits and pieces that are coming out. So you kind of have to, you can view it in the court of public opinion, but in the real court, guys, because this has the law is involved. So now, it definitely has to go through the court system. Whether it's dismissed or how it's handled, it's going to go through that procedure. All right, let's see. All right, so right now I'm going to zoom through here real quick because it looks like I kind of got way behind on the chats. So let's get caught back up. I'll start back off at anybody that, here we go. And the other thing that I do, like I mentioned before, is if you are a member of the channel, the people that you see like Pale Rider, they have that badge right next to their name. I kind of give you guys precedent as far as, and especially, the super chats like Daniel, I will go ahead and pop you guys up first until we get caught up. All right. And I see Sonic Pop says, share a lunker. All right. All right, let's see. The Pale Rider says they have been investigating him since last February. Oh my goodness, Pale Rider. Is that oh goodness. I mean, I don't know anything about that, but hey, maybe Pale Rider knows a little something. All right, Frisco says guys can be DQ'd with no license. That is true. All right, let's see. All right, so Peter Long says, was he fishing in a tournament or was he just fun fishing? All right, so the sharelunker program, what they're referring to as a tournament, it seems to be, and that's why I asked if there's somebody in here that is familiar with that program. If we have it over here, I have not caught a fish that would be that could be admitted in that. The closest I've come to it is a 8. It was under 9 pounds, so I haven't. And that's only one. So out here, I haven't been catching any fish that big to where I would know too much about that program. But yeah, so from what I'm understanding, it is a program that's kind of ongoing. So you're not entered into it until you catch something, and then you go and fill out the paperwork to be in it. That is my understanding of it, but I could be wrong. If that's why I was asking for clarification for someone that is familiar with that program to kind of put that in the chat so you guys can see that. Because like I said, I always want to make sure that as we share information and share our different thoughts and ideas on different topics, that we do provide value for people also. Because maybe there's somebody in the chat that's out there catching those 15-pounders on a regular basis. It's like, oh, I didn't know about a sharelunker program. Let me get out there and enter into that. All right, DL Peck says, I'm in the Texas Toyota sharelunker, okay, program, but it's not a tournament. Okay, yeah, so I saw somebody else refer to it as a program also. But they do have tournaments that may go on for 1 month, 6 months, where people actually set them up as tournaments. But from what I'm understanding, sharelunker is a government program, a government-ran program. But yes, I mean, anybody that is familiar with that, like DL Peck Fishing, he says he is actually in that program. All right, let's see. And Herbert is seconding that. He says, yes, it's a Texas program. Oh my goodness. The Burning Season says, Money, you should put his mugshot on a t-shirt and sell them. All right, so what I would say is Ben Milliken will probably do that because he has a great business mind. I mean, the picture's already out there, and I do not think that would hurt his image. I think, I mean, he has fans that are going to follow him. So I think that's something that he would probably do. All right, Sev K said, who is Ben Milliken? Who is the Millikens? All right, so Ben Milliken, he was and still is. He started off on the YouTube side of things, a very popular YouTube guy on the fishing side of things, and then he transitioned over into the pro side of fishing. So that is why you see people that know him from YouTube, and then you see other people that know him from the professional fishing side. All right, so Sonic Pop says it's not a tournament. It's a program that states any fish over 13 pounds classifies as a sharelunker, and large prizes go with a legal sharelunker. All right, so there we go. All right, looks like Sonic Pop went and got the definition for us. Really appreciate that. Fishing for Dollars says defrauding the state of money is a crime, period. All right, so there we go. So that is why, it looks like it may have a little bit more involved than just a regular tournament, guys, because it's a government-ran program. All right, let's see. I'm going to hop through here real quick and just get caught up in the chat. All right, DL Peck Fishing says Texas sharelunker is more like a Hall of Fame for 8 and up pound bass. All right, so who has caught the biggest fish in the sharelunker program? All right, you guys over there in Texas, who knows who has the biggest fish in the sharelunker program? All right, what I'm going to do now is just kind of hop through here and go straight to the members chat so that we can get caught up real quick. All right, so Bryce Stevens says, so this comes out conveniently when he's named to that committee. I smell catfish in the kitchen. Oh, no, not a catfish in the kitchen. Shout out to Double OG, says, not the biggest Milliken fan, but this sounds pretty. What does ASL stand for? What does that stand for? I don't always get the abbreviations, guys. All right, C219 Troll says, awaiting his statement, but I agree with Alabama Bass Council guy. What did Alabama Bass Council guy? I didn't see it. All right, let's see. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's just take a look. I know the likes are probably ugly, guys, because I have not mentioned hit the like button one time. Well, maybe at the very beginning. But yeah, if you guys could please go ahead and take a quick second to hit that like button, because it really does help support the channel, guys. All right, so this next poll question that we had, it says, in the court of public opinion, is he guilty of a class A and B misdemeanor? So 52% of you have said, 53% of you have said no, and 47% of you are saying yes. So the numbers are still split on that. So we're, that's close to 50-50, but most of you are saying no. And maybe it's because you agree with it. You should wait till some more information comes out before you make that decision, guys. But again, the question is in the court of public opinion. All right. All right, there we go. Nick knows what I'm talking about. He says, I haven't heard enough either way to give an opinion of guilty or not. So that is the real answer. That's the real answer, Nick. Nick knows the real answer. So that poll question that I put up was just kind of up there, just to let you guys hop in there and see what your thoughts are on it. All right, I see everybody giving a shout out to Daniel. Daniel is the current sponsor of tonight's live stream with the $10 super chat. Really, really appreciate that, sir. Okay, it looks like I'm catching up in the chat. Oh, well, I thought I was. Hold on. Did I get caught up in the chat? All right, let's see. All right, I'm just looking at some of your comments in the chat, guys. All right, let me see. Now this is funny. Steven says Biden should pardon him. Oh, now that's pretty funny right there. All right, shout out to Frisco. Says if Josh Jones was with him, he was probably on what is that? I'll be fun fishing. Josh Jones is a forward-facing guru as well. Okay, wow. Okay, so yeah, if they were fishing together, they were out there catching some biggins. All right, Peter Long says, if fishing is your livelihood, no excuse for fishing without a valid license. I can kind of see that both ways. I mean, because in any profession, there are people that still. So wait a second, you said no excuse. Okay, yeah, no excuses. Just accept your punishment. I got you. All right. Frisco says, wonder if that violates any bass etiquette and or rules for next season. All right. So it looks like we got caught up in the chat, guys. And I'm just taking a look over here. It looks like I did play that clip, those clips that I wanted to play for you. All right. So yeah, so there you have it. Did anybody have any other final thoughts? I didn't see anybody that had any poll questions or anything that you wanted to put up. And real quick, before you guys log off, we do this thing that we call Bass for Cash. Each week, I go live out on the lake. As I catch the fish, I show you guys the fish. All you have to do is be a subscriber to the channel, and you can win cash for guessing the weight of a bass. Just that quick and simple, guys. It's not anything more complicated than that, all right? It does not cost a thing to participate in Bass for Cash. All you have to do is be a subscriber to the channel. Today, who won today? Does anybody in the chat know who won the payout for today and how much that payout was? Now, the biggest payout that has been paid so far for a 1 day and one fish, that person just guessed the weight of that fish, was $150 was paid out. And we do this on a weekly basis, all right? So does anybody in the chat know who won Bass for Cash today? We'll be back out on the lake again on Monday. All you have to do is be a subscriber to the channel, and you can win cash. And all you're doing is watching me out there on the lake fish. As I catch the fish, I show you the fish. I'll put it on a measuring board, give you guys a few minutes to think about it. You put your guess in the chat. Once we open the scales, if you guess the exact weight of that fish, you win the cash. Just that quick and simple. In the chat, I was just looking to see, does anybody know who won? Because somebody did win today. They walked away with some Friday weekend spending money. All right. So does anybody know who won Bass for Cash today? I don't know. I'm kind of surprised. I don't see anybody putting it in here. All right. Shout out to Guadalupe. Says hello from Texas. We have Derek from Arkansas checking in. All right, so nobody know who won today. Who now? Look, I'm trying to remember who won today. I think they won $40. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot who won today. But anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you are tuned in now, go ahead and make sure you hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. There he goes. Wait a minute. There he goes. It was Chef Boy. Chef Boy won today. And how much did you win? Chef Boy won today. I was like, the name is just right there. I can't remember, but Chef Boy won today. We had a good time out there on the lake, guys. But yeah, make sure you tune in for Bass for Cash. This is a weekly thing that we do. There you go. Shout out to Chef Boy. Said he won $40 to spend for the weekend. All right. So yeah, Bass for Cash is real, just like the Bendation. All right. Let's see. What does Nick have to say? All right, Nick says, I don't know who won, but that's got to be the coolest way to give back that I've seen on YouTube so far. All right, so yeah, that's what I said, guys. Bass for Cash is real, just like the Bendation. So yeah, all it takes is for you to just hit the subscribe button, and that's it. All right, so Frisco says, how many times can I win? You can win as many times as you can guess. I mean, you get one guess per fish. But that is the thing about being a member of the channel. Membership does have its privileges. The members of the channel, they actually get 2 guesses, and they play for the full pot. So let's say if that payout is $50 at the time, right? If the pot is won by a member of the channel, then they just go ahead and take the entire thing. But the pot is generally paid out in increments. So if a subscriber, and again, you have to be a subscriber to participate. If you are a subscriber, you get the weight of that fish. If the full pot is $50, you may take $20 of that pot for that fish. Then as we catch another fish, you'll get another $20. It kind of breaks down like that. But the members of the channel, they get 2 guesses, and they get the opportunity to just take the entire pot away from you guys. And that pot had just started back over. That's how Chef Boy walked away with the full $40 today. All right, so Pale Rider says Chef was a Grinch and stole my Christmas money. All right. All right, good deal, guys. All right, so we had a little fun. Wanted to step in real quick. You know, we were on here for about 45 minutes, you know, something. Just wanted to make it quick and simple so we can come in here, get some information out to you guys, kind of, you know, let you see what other people are thinking, all right? All right, so I really appreciate you. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. If you did not already hit the like button, what you waiting on? Go ahead and hit that like button, guys. I'll see you guys out there on the lake on Monday. All right. We'll be back out there on Monday doing this thing that we call Bass for Cash. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Oh, real quick. And again, shout out to Daniel. Daniel was a sponsor of tonight's live stream, guys.